fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and this is a random live evening chat, taking a stroll, this and that. I'll wait for the chat to load if anybody's up around this time, because normally my audience, a lot of you guys are gone to bed, right? So far ahead that you've gone to bed. Let's go this way.
I know that's what I was telling you.
Let's talk about some boxing. We got one on the chat. That number one and only, hit that like button for me, if you will. Whoever number one was like, no, I think I won't.
Okay, you want to have a race?
No, I don't want to have a race.
Okay. This is a heel, so I might. Really?
Just taking a stroll, talking a little bit about boxing for right now. You know, boxing is very, very political, as we know that. And we found out about many fights that we thought, gauged, predicted, promised, but never happened, right? And it's like, careful, there's this car right there. And it's like, for all we know, I think the best thing to know about boxing, as we learned about AJ and Fury and Crawford and Spence, is to really just wait to see what happens. You know, you can't really even predict a fight's gonna happen until they step their ass into the ring. You know what I mean? I don't know what that means. I just see a question mark. Okay. But crazy thing about the sport, though, the sport that I love, that I hate so much, is, man, people are greedy these days. I mean, undeniably greedy. And unfortunately, the greed is really just dragging the sport into the ground, you know. Because if you're looking at fighting for legacy or fighting for the best, nobody likes that shit. You know, the last few hours I've been watching like Cobra Kai, you know, stuff like that. And I don't know, I grew up as a kid in the 80s, so, you know, I watched The Karate Kid and stuff like that. And I'm watching this show and I'm sitting there and I'm seeing all these old throwback guys that were either in that franchise or whatever. And it's like, you see all these kids are inspired to be the best, to fight, just for the hell of it. And you got boxers that have been trained since how long? God knows how long. And they won't fight. They're worried about a check, which some people it should be. You should be worried about a check, but at the end of the day, man, it's like, damn, man, you know, where's the passion? What did you get in the sport for? You know, you get a couple big checks, then you don't want to fight nobody. And if so, it better be for too much money that you've never seen. And I don't get it. You know, everybody's looking for the lotto. Antonio Matthews, hey Kurt, why would Char want Joshua to sign the contract? He doesn't want him to sign the contract. It's the whole point. That's a smoke screen, bro. You don't see that? See, when Manuel Char, think about it. How random is Manuel Char these days? A random ass Manuel Char all of a sudden pops out of nowhere calling out Tyson Fury. Then he jumps on Joshua like, hey, pussy wah, I know and I bet you won't sign the contract, you know, but I do. You got an opportunity for this and that. That fight was already orchestrated, man. And if you think that fight wasn't orchestrated, you're dreaming. But I mean, if Tyson, and people always wonder why you always shit on Tyson. I don't shit on Tyson. I just know Tyson is trying to be like Mayweather. He's trying to be like Mayweather. TV Knowledge, how are you doing, Kurt? Man, I'm cool, man. I'm copacetic. Been having a chill day. Bought a new whip. You know what I mean? So I'm good, man. I feel good. Feel good about my investment. Life's good. Blessed. Man, I hope you're doing the same. But yeah, man, at the end of the day, though, at the very end of the day, Manuel Charr didn't want that to happen because he already knew he was promised the fight. Hell, he might get an extra few grand just to do what he did. Now, you look, if Tyson Fury was that real or serious about Anthony Joshua, there would be no way in hell he would be talking about Manuel Charr. Manuel Charr wouldn't even be an issue. You can't even compare Manuel Charr to Anthony Joshua. That shit's like comparing a watermelon to a grape. Then all of a sudden, Manuel Charr pops up. That's just like Robert Helenius is popping up. Do you guys see the potential? True, Mayweather's still making more money than most boxers. Nothing wrong. Tyson trying to be like him. Viral bites. Yeah, that's all he's doing. That's all he's doing. He knows that fighting the hardest fighters like Usyk, he ducked that motherfucker early this year. I can't say he ducked him this year, you know, but then who's to say Tyson didn't know that Alexander Usyk was going to take a break? You know, he might have already knew what Usyk was planning to do, then come out and say, I'm going to get you. But I can't say that, honestly, because Tyson did come out very quickly and say, hey, you know, come on, you're middleweight, I'll fight you, or whatever. But see, here's the good news, though. Here's the good news. Since he's not fighting Anthony Joshua, and he's fighting Manuel Charr, I very seriously doubt that he has a rematch clause with Manuel Charr. If he has a rematch clause set with Emmanuel Charr, that means Tyson Fury doesn't want and doesn't plan on fighting nobody dangerous. Counterpunch.
We're not turning around. I thought we said went around for dinner, so I don't get lost.
You're not going to get lost. Sounds like he screwed his team up with the deadline. They said their meeting was today. Antonio, that should tell you all you need to know. And I got a fire-ass video coming tomorrow about everything that's involved. All the legal shit that's involved between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Tyson Fury is totally contradicting that. Totally. You know, take it for what it is. You know, don't blame the team, you blame the person. So if Tyson didn't want to fight Anthony Joshua, he shouldn't have came up with that shit anyway. Here's a narrative. How about this? How about if Tyson Fury never intended on fighting Anthony Joshua and seeing what he was going to do? Don't forget Fury beat White without a rematch clause, unlike AJ, who had a rematch clause in every fight. Well, hopefully he does that with Manuel Charr. But if he gives him a rematch, we already know he has no intention of fighting Usyk, nor Joshua, nor Joyce, nor anybody that could give him any type of resistance. But I mean, that's some Mayweather shit, you know? But you can't blame Mayweather all the time. You know, I'm just blaming the people that's trying to be like Mayweather. Mayweather did what Mayweather did. He didn't make people follow him. He didn't make people do what he does or did. Gerard, what's up, Kurt? Tyson, is he really serious? He be training and not talking about another fighter. Playing games seems to be his game. That's what he does. You know, the art of fighting without fighting. Where? Don't forget Fury beat White. Deontay Wilder going to the Hall of Fame is laughable. Eddie talks a lot with his face. Don't he, though? Dude, those facial expressions were fucking priceless. They were priceless. I'm not buying the Tyson Charr fight no matter what. Mr. Box, I don't blame you. Look, you know what that fight's like? That's like Canelo fighting what's that guy's name? Damn, I can't even pronounce his name anymore. his sparring partner. What's Canelo's sparring partner's name that he fought? Yildirim or some shit like that. I forgot his name now. I mean, it's so funny how people that you hear about, your Durham, I think his name is, yeah, Yildrim, yeah. I know it was something with a Y. I just couldn't remember. Tyson trying to fuck with us again. I believe this fight will happen. Well, you know, thing about Tyson, you know, he'll piss you off in the meantime if the fight didn't happen. He'll piss you off in the meantime. Chickarelli, what's up, brother? Counterpunch from you from the West Coast, West Side. So Joshua will probably take Zhang to China, get that Chinese paper. He gonna get paid no matter what. And you know what? People are gonna hate because he's getting paid more than any fucking body else. And it's a trip. It's like this is how boxing is going. Why? Won't you come back this way? Come back this way. That's how you did it before. So let's stick to the same routine. Turn that bike around and come on. Oh, Abraham, Detroit in the house. Man, one of the toughest places in America, Detroit and Philly. Detroit, Philly, New York, Miami, Chicago, you know, those are like kind of the go-to spots of being total badass places. White versus Joe Joyce makes sense, in my opinion. I would love to see White and Joe Joyce because that would be a good fight. It would be an absolute war because, you know, Dillian White is fighting somebody that's going to stand still, you know, and that'll make you wonder something about Joyce. We're praising him over Joseph Parker, but hey, praise him over the dude that also dropped Joseph Parker with a left hook, and that was Dillian White. And Dillian White is a bigger guy now. Yes, he's sluggish. He has bad balance, but he ain't gonna need much balance hitting Joe Joyce because Joe Joyce ain't moving nowhere. He ain't a Tyson Fury. He ain't a damn Usyk or somebody light on their feet. Joe Joyce is a big ass giant. He's a big brown chocolate brownies giant, right? What? Hollywood not on the bad list? Nah, not really, bro. Tommy Hitman Hearns was from Detroit. You damn right, Motor City Cobra. Baby, watch that car. He's coming around. Be familiar with your surroundings. There you go. But no, I mean, that fight there is just a fight that Tyson probably just wants to take. Yeah, we can go straight. Why not? But I don't really get it though. Watch coming around that curve. It could be a car coming around the curve. Yeah, get over there so you can see it. It's a good idea. Chick, I know you're just kidding. Joyce will KO White. Just I picked Joyce over Parker. I said he would not Parker out cold. Love your channel. Eduardo Smith, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Appreciate the love, you guys. You know what I mean? I really mean that because I never expected this platform to ever be this big. My prediction years ago was to have 10,000 subscribers, and the people that I, you know, like wanted to follow this channel, that would be like, that was the end game. 10,000 came within, when the channel started growing, it wouldn't stop, and it's still growing. So again, it's up to you guys. It ain't just me. You know, I appreciate you guys that think the way I do, or even if you don't, respect the way I think. That's what it's all about. Oh, they're dropping garbage, y'all. I said he would KO Parker. Well, he did. He KO'd Parker. I said he would stop Parker. And I thought it would be an accumulation, and it was kind of both. He beat Parker up. He beat Parker up, then knocked him out. And that's the worst kind of beating though, because it's one thing to get caught, you know, like somebody like Joshua got caught, or, you know, somebody like that, but, you know, and then all of a sudden he was just hurt and he never recovered. But if you get beat down round after round after round, then get knocked out ultimately, that's bad. That's damage, man. Joyce reminds me of Foreman. BJ Rich. Yeah, he looks like a big George Foreman, but he's just bigger. Because George Foreman wasn't that big. Watch that car. You see that car? You see that car in front of you? Yeah. Miss going fast. Do you talk to Blue Blood in private? Um, we have conversations. I wouldn't necessarily say it's in private, but I mean, I don't. I guess so. Not all the time. I'm not Blue Blood's enemy or nothing like that. We just had disagreements in the past, but he was not one of the people that fuck with my channel. So he's not a person that I despise or anything like that. He's a grinder. He does his own shit. I do mine. No doubt. Tough fight. Joyce was still a gentleman. Joyce is a big, gentle giant, bro. That's why you can't not, hey, get away from my car. Don't hit my car. Watch that car. You gotta watch kids, dude. You gotta watch it. If AJ fought Char, he wouldn't hear the end of it from Fury fans. These same Fury fans is going to find a way to blame AJ for fighting Char. That's what he was gonna do anyway, man. You can't really be, like, Tyson is not known to fight the best fighters. He's not. You know, Deontay and Tyson had a pact. You know what I mean? They did basically the same thing. They built their legacy off each other. Tyson built his legacy off of beating Wilder, and Wilder built his legacy off of claiming Tyson Fury cheated and losing to Tyson Fury. That's how his legacy was. And they had 3 hell of a fights doing it. That's how their legacy was made. But I will say this in defense of Wilder and Tyson Fury. At least these mother suckers did that. Other fighters these days, why isn't Tank Davis fighting Ryan Garcia twice? Why isn't T.O. Featon fighting Lomachenko twice or 3 times? You know what I mean? If we're going to have some fights, at least let's have some fights that mean something. If they're going to be redos, let's have some good redos. Let's have some, hey, who's going to win this fight? Hey, man, I know he got caught. I know he has the power, but oh boy, he's learned. He's got another coach. He's got another trainer. He's trying harder. He's doing everything different. You know, those type of things. We don't even get that no more. All right, just do donuts then. According to Hearn, there were various positive calls between promoters, broadcasters who are all working hard to finalize the fight. There has been no talk of a deadline. Kuta Kinte, obviously for Tyson Fury, but I'm telling you, that's exactly what I'm talking about. If Tyson Fury doesn't fight Anthony Joshua from what we know, you know, and I'm gonna cover this in a video early this morning. I'm gonna drop that sucker maybe midnight or 1 in the morning. So, cowards do exist in boxing. Yeah, and scary people. Mike Tyson told you, like, there's people scared. If you're not scared, you're a fool. AJ didn't accept the fight. He didn't accept the fight according to who? St. Don, I know you're a Fury's fan, but we got to put the facts together. See, Fury's a fighter. Joshua's a fighter. Joshua explained it, and it made sense. What you do as a fighter defines you. What your management and team do, their job is to make sure you get the fight that you claim you want. Not set a bullshit deadline when you already know your promoter that works for you is setting up a meeting. You should be optimistic about that. Not sit there and say, you know what? This is over because I said it's over and I'm going to fight Emmanuel Char. Just say that then. And just say, you know what? I don't care what. And he's actually said that. He said that, look, I don't care what Frank Warren says. I don't care about Tuesday. I don't care about Wednesday. I don't care about Thursday. If he ain't signed today, that's what it is. He doesn't care about anything they're talking about. He doesn't care about marketing. He doesn't care about the promotional networks. He doesn't care about that. So if he doesn't care, shut the fuck up. Because that's the whole point. If Anthony Joshua's going to have to fight, he knows he signed a deal. Put the egos aside on both sides and let that shit ride. If you want to fight, you're going to have to deal with the guy that has the money. Anthony Joshua has the money. Doesn't he not? He's not fighting Anthony Joshua for any other reason. That's it. 271 and unlimited stamina with a middleweight volume punch. Miller had a hell of a punch, volume 2, for a man of that size. But see, Miller, though, we don't know if Miller can still do that for round after round. I think he went 10 rounds and he was still able to be effective, but the son of a bitch was almost 400 pounds. I think Miller had weight cutting things because he was just too fat. Miller's problem, I think, he has a weight problem. He's obese, he's just husky. But I think the weight will eventually gang up on. What are you doing?
It's mine.
What?
It's mine.
Okay, come on. You're right, champ. Your boxing wisdom is what separates you from others, bro. Edward Smith, appreciate you, man. Contract, stop talking. Contract, stop talking. I don't get it, St. Don. If they're planning to meet today, that's what should be the focus point. Not what Tyson Fury is saying. In fact, Tyson Fury should stop saying anything. He should be like, look, listen. Tyson Fury has said himself, another contradiction. That's what my team is for. That's what I pay them for. That's what they do for me. I don't want to get caught up in that. They're going to make the fight for me. They're going to make this, whatever it is, happen. Just like the arbitration. He didn't have anything to do with the arbitration. His lawyers did. Remember? St. Dunn, these big fights take time. AJ said that he will sign, but it needs to be right. Well, the networks need to come together. Because you think BT is going to take that. Anthony Joshua is not a Dillian White, bro. I'm sorry. This is not a fucking purse bid situation. It has nothing to do with that. You cannot even compare that fight together. And it broke numbers. And they know that. Tyson Fury's trying to he's trying to break numbers. He's trying to make money. And anybody's a damn fool if you don't believe that. That's if he's really trying to fight Anthony Joshua. He literally said his lawyers are looking at it, St. Don. So why all of a sudden is Fury in a rush? Good question. You know what I mean? It makes no sense. Once you sign the contract, it's locked in. That's correct. And I think both sides know that. Which way are we going? Which way and which way? We coming around or going this way, taking a left? Left, all right. Okay. Look like you got a mouthpiece in. If Fury really wanted this fight, he wouldn't have given him a deadline. Fury never wanted it. I mean, that just makes it difficult. But like I said, whenever when you don't want to call people's bluff, you can't be that serious. Calling bluffs means you're serious about fights. Not just saying, hey, I'll offer you 40%. 40% of nothing leaves nothing. 40% of nothing is nothing. So if you're not going to fight, that's what it's going to be. It's no fight. AJ lost his pen. If Joshua signed a contract that breached his D-Zone contract, what would happen? The same thing would have happened if he would have signed with the fight Wilder for $50 million that they didn't fucking have. But you said he ducked AJ, so was it Fury ducking AJ or his team? Well, this fight's supposed to be made, right? They're supposed to get together and talk about it. So why the hell is Tyson Fury saying anything? How many times has Tyson Fury said about Wilder, I'm not saying anything about anything. I'm not talking. That's the attitude you're supposed to have when you want something to get done. When something's out of your hands or you're hiring someone to do the fucking job. That's what you do. You don't sit around and talk about what I ain't gonna wait on for. If that's what the fight you want, and all of a sudden Manuel Char pops up talking about pussy, you want to fight, you should fight, or I will fight him. That motherfucker was hired by it. He knew he was gonna fight him anyway. He do that. You just where did Manuel Char just come from? He popped up like a damn Pop-Tart out of a toaster talking about, oh, hey, I want to fight Tyson Fury. It's a lot of people want to fight Tyson Fury. Get in line. What makes Manuel Char so special? I know it's a voluntary, I get it, but damn. Fight somebody we want to see. Kurt Vladimir Ivanov is a very good heavyweight prospect from Russia. Look him up on YouTube. Will do. He said talking about it.
Thought he wanted to go here.
He said talking about White signed contract and fought him. Nico the best. I think it's mostly his team, but Fury low key going along with it. Char has been calling out Fury and AJ for years. Well, yeah, Don King screwed him over though. Char telling Joshua to take the fight, but Char wants to fight himself. Swear this stuff makes me dumber. Well, it's a persuasion maybe, you know, but I just don't see someone that really wants that fight, you know, talking like that. Like 10 days. Do you guys also understand the 10 days? Go figure Don screw someone? Surely not. Weezer, I know, right? Is that truth? Yeah, no, Wessie, the truth?
Come on, come on. Let's go.
Where are we going?
We saw last one of the door inside.
All right. It's getting dark. The 1,000 days, you mean? A warm salute to Kurt and everyone in the chat. Daniel Mickelson. Counterpunch to you, brother. The bottom line is, Kurt, it's bad blood with Frank and Eddie. TV rights and venues. Tyson is not the promoter. He just sets deadlines. And Eddie is the man to decide if AJ's fighting, so he's not a coward. Well, I mean, AJ also has his management company as well. So I don't think it's all about Eddie as well. Eddie's kind of the guy that comes in. See, there's so many guys involved. So it's like, you know, at no point Joshua said, hey, talk to Eddie Hun. Eddie Hun, my promoter. He didn't say that. He said, talk to my management company, 258. How the hell a fighter that makes less than I gonna tell me how fast or slow my financial fight should move? Get the fuck out of here and go get a bag of peanuts from Char. You just do those circles a couple times. Come on. Let's be honest, the zone is bottling this fight. Both AJ and Fury are looking silly if the fight doesn't happen. Well, it'll just be a waste of time. Antonio Matthews, check out the AJ fans. All about the money. It's all about the belts. Mush. LOL, sickening. Well, Tyson Fury has a belt. You know. But I think Anthony Joshua wanted to fight Tyson for a while. You know. And you know those negotiations. You can't say that shit was Joshua's fault. If you follow that closely, you know, and just really look at it.
Okay.
Yet Fury demands $500 million to come out. Man, he ain't talked about $500 million in since September. You know, that was a bunch of shit anyway. $500 million. Mayweather ain't made $500 million in a night. How the fuck he gonna make $500 million? You know better. He knows better than that. You know, that means he wants to put his success of beating Deontay Wilder He wanted that. He wanted people to pay him the most money ever. So he wanted to sell that winner from Deion. That is not worth $500 million. It ain't worth $100 million. If they fought 4 times, it wouldn't be worth $100 million. Sorry, fans. Joshua is the economic. Yeah, well, look, I'm gonna tell you something about Joshua though. Here's the sad part. Here's the problem though. Joshua had all this damn money and was offering people, especially like the champions. He wanted the champions, what made more sense than any other thing, because he was collecting straps. Okay, he fought Vladimir, he fought Charles Martin, Vladimir, then Parker, in that order. They got theirs. Then all of a sudden it got to Wilder. Then Wilder was like, oh, I want 50-50. Like, dude, nobody got 50-50 and then wanted to play the fraction game. Like, give me 50-50. No, how about you take the money that you were offered because you ain't done shit? Why do you think Eddie Hearn laughed at Deontay Wilder claiming he is automatically a Hall of Famer? Because the shit's laughable. He ain't done nothing yet besides lose to Fury. You don't get in the Hall of Fame for losing, motherfucker. You get in the Hall of Fame for winning, for beating people, for your accolades, your integrity, shit like that. Fury, who says it's not about the belts, will be the first and the loudest person talking about Undisputed if he beat Usyk. Well, I don't know what he'll be talking about because he has to fight Usyk first. I'm telling you. It looks promising though. I think it's a good idea. Even though I can't see what Joshua does with Tyson, but you know. But you don't move the goalpost when you think something's real that fucking close. Hey, yeah, I'm almost at the 10. No, you got to be at the 5, bud. Sorry. How is a former 2-time unified champ not the talent? That's cokehead talk. Well, they're both the talent. Tyson Fury you know what happened to Tyson Fury? Tyson fucked himself by his own admission. He had no business getting out of the sport like he did. You can blame whatever the fuck you need to blame. And he's, oh, my mental health. Bro, listen, you had a lot of other problems that probably made you stressed. You know what I mean? But I think people threw that shit around. But he got out of the sport for 3 years where he should have been fighting some of the best around. He should have fought Dillian White years ago. He should have fought Vladimir Klitschko. And basically, here's the thing, we would have knew more about Tyson Fury had he fought some of the bigger guys or the best guys at the time, which he didn't. He didn't do that shit. He didn't fight all them guys, Pulev and Povetkin. He didn't fight any of those guys. But here's the thing, neither did Wilder. Tyson Fury just decided, not saying he couldn't beat him, he just didn't do it because he got himself fucked. He shouldn't have been taking drugs, fucking wild boar meat. He shouldn't have been doing that shit. That had nothing to do with the ass whooping he put on Wilder, but he still did that. Him and Huey took some nandrolone and then got popped with it. Thought they got away with it, then crooked ass UCAD came back. The irony of it. And I believe UCAD's crooked. But that doesn't mean at all that he was not that he was innocent. No, it didn't mean that at all. So he shouldn't have done what he did, but he did it anyway. You know, in 3 years, he just waited for the smoke to clear. Unfortunately, watch what's around that corner. Look at the lights behind you. Stop. Cool. St. Don, if it's not about the money, why is Fury all about the money and splits all the time? And money, isn't he just fighting the best regardless? Well, I mean, hey, man, once upon a time, he's supposed to have been talking of retirement because Deontay Wilder hit him so hard that made him have knots in his spine and his head. Now you don't hear him talking about that. See, that's the type of shit, though, that should stay consistent. He should still mention, like, look, I'm still putting my life on the line. How about this? How about the reason to justify giving Tyson Fury $500 million would be, okay, I have taken damage from Deontay Wilder fighting him 3 times because he is the hardest hitting puncher in whatever, in this division or this era or whatever. And I got hit by those shots and it damaged me and I'm fearful of my health. So if I'm going to come back to the sport of boxing, how about this? How about you give me $500 million because my life is on the line because I've already suffered great damage. That would be his justification. He don't talk about none of that shit no more, does he? No. See, I mean, when people stop talking about things that's supposed to matter the most, you can't help but to think it's bullshit. Let's just be real. He came back, fought, made the fight easy. Well, I mean, he surprised me in the first Wilder fight. He was also fighting AJ in December up until yesterday. So what's the point, St. Don? When did Fury fight AJ? I don't know. Look, you don't, like, on a fucking weekend, I'm going to give him to Monday. How about to the end of the fucking week? You give 1 day. That 1 day shit is always puzzling to me. Oh, I'm going to give you 1 day. All right, come on, let's go in. Matthew Branch, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Aries Zodius Boxing is an AJ fan boy channel. The ones from USA are more worse than the ones from the UK. Okay, Aries Zodiac. Yeah, I've heard of him. Big buff cat. Yeah. Talks boxing and shit like he's from New York or something. Like he got a New York accent. I don't know. I don't listen to him enough to know if he's a fan of him. I know he does quite a few AJ videos, I noticed. But I mean, besides that, though, like, here's the thing. If you're a fan of anyone, here's the objective. The objective is to weed out the fact that a person's a fan or are they telling the truth. See, a lot of times people that are fans exaggerate the whole idea of what they're saying. They exaggerate it, like you've seen people. Slick Fisher. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Kurt, the reason. No, I got it. Just go in. I got it. Just go in. Good job. Hey, good job. All right, go ahead. Do you think that Joyce would beat Usyk due to his nonstop pressure? No, I don't. AJ gave up a chance. The best thing, he could hurt Usyk. If he could hurt Usyk, yeah, he could probably, win rounds, and never stop. That's something AJ should have picked the fuck up from Derek Chisora and guys like Joyce. But Joyce is real slow. And the bigger he gets, the slower he gets. Now, the bigger he gets, maybe the more dangerous he becomes. We do have to consider we may be watching a man Fury come undone before our very eyes. Well, we only have to see. And him not fighting Joshua is unfortunate because I thought all the bullshit would stop. I thought all the, hey, he didn't win, therefore he didn't win, he doesn't get to fight me type of bullshit. But then all of a sudden Tyson Fury offers. Here's my thing. Why even offer the fucking fight if you know you're not even willing to go through the ropes of getting the fight made? Why offer the motherfucker? You guys get me? Like, why would you offer a fight that you're going to turn around and then put some fucking deadline on when you know your team is talking and negotiating? That makes no sense. What that tells me is that tells me that maybe you're full of shit. Maybe you didn't want the fight, and I'm saying this and I'm questioning this because Tyson Fury didn't have to say a fucking thing to anybody about wanting to fight AJ. He did not have to make a public announcement. He did not have to expose or express or promote something that's not going to fucking happen. Okay? He did not have to say anything at all until that fight happened. He should have, if that fight should have been signed by Anthony Joshua, then he could have said, guess what, guys? I have a huge news for you. I will be fighting Anthony Joshua. That's right, Anthony, the bodybuilder Joshua, December 3rd. He signed the contract. I'll see you then, you big dulcer. I'll be there to knock you out, something that Alexander Usyk, the middleweight, couldn't do, baby boyo. Yeah, he could have done that. He didn't. No, he wanted everybody to know, hey, I'm offering AJ a fight. Does that mean that fight's going to happen? No, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. And it doesn't mean that he wanted it to happen. See, you could always question that now. See, my thing is, Tyson always does shit to make you question. How about this? Let's turn it around. All we need to do is turn it around. How we turn it around? Let's say Anthony Joshua would have done that shit. Let's offer Tyson Fury 40-60. But then if he's not done by Friday, we're moving on. What would people say? That motherfucker's bullshitting because he's making a deadline. How real is he about wanting to fight Tyson Fury? You're offering him $40 million. The Queen of fucking England just died. Then you're trying to add that time the Queen of England died in bereavement to the time that you sit and waited. Obviously, you didn't supposed to be waiting, motherfucker. You're supposed to be in bereavement. So that puts all that on hold. What hold means hold. It doesn't mean, hey, I'm waiting in secret, but pretending to be mourning over our queen. No, it don't. It means that you're supposed to take all that shit and put it on ice until we can get back to it. Not add the days that you sent the contract, and the day you sent the motherfucker was the same day that she died. Am I right or am I wrong? So if anything, you're supposed to wait those days out. Friday would have been reasonable. Like, look, I'm giving them to Friday to let them air shit out. He ain't saying that. He's promoting this Manuel Char fight. Why? Because he's already decided to fight Manuel Char. And the question is, when did he decide to fight Manuel Char? Wait. And he did, and y'all said he was ducking. Every time they talk Joshua, it's like, when are we fighting? Something makes Joshua want to fight Fury bad and makes Fury shy away. Maybe Joshua wasn't as mentally broken as they thought. Well, I don't know. Maybe they were expecting him not to take the fight. Maybe they were expecting him because of his last defeat. The fact that he did act the ass after that fight, maybe they were expecting him to, in fact, bow down or reject the fight so they can keep talking about how big of a pussy he is, and then they could perhaps steal some of his fan base and steal some of his revenue and steal some of that steam that he has to make all that damn money. Maybe Tyson Fury, in fact, wanted to do exactly what I feel Deontay Wilder wanted to do. Deontay Wilder didn't want to fight Anthony Joshua. He just wanted to be Anthony Joshua. He wanted the endorsements. He wanted that money. He wanted recognition. He wanted everybody to love him, and he wanted to get paid doing it. And he wanted to do it by the abundance, and he wasn't able to. Usyk called out Fury, so an hour later, Fury accepted. St. Don, that is true. He did call him out. And my counterpunch to Usyk was, if you knew you were going to do that, you say, yeah, I want to fight him, but I want to rest first. And he kind of did say that, but then again, like, he kind of didn't. Because, I know what a call out is. And I heard Alexander Usyk. in my opinion, wrong. The Queen's funeral thing was only about silence in the media, not that teams were not supposed to be continue to work. Okay. So then I shouldn't have gave Tyson Fury credit for not talking and saying shit about it. And then all of a sudden you're given a deadline. First Frank Warren did, then Tyson Fury did. Oh, don't you worry. I choose not to use an emoji. St. Don, I've seen interviews of people telling Fury that Usyk called him out, and Fury said he didn't care about Usyk or neither he wanted to fight for 500 million. Liam Warren, you are also right. But this is the problem with Tyson. You're not going to nail down one thing that he said because he said many things. I don't care who you are, Fury fan or not or whatever. That's the truth. Really good point. Why offer the fight and then take it back? Maybe he has a need for attention all the time. Otherwise, he is miserable by himself. Poor thing. This guy doesn't know who he is. Well, maybe he just wanted some spark. You know, how do you take a spark away from a person? You know, who's everybody talking about? Usyk. You know, the UK fed up with Fury's deadlines and retirement and £1 billion deals. Is Fury good for media to get people talking? I don't know. I have no idea. Tyson will fight Joshua. He is just making new news up every day, bipolar stuff. Let's hope that's what it is. Because I mean, it doesn't make sense to hear what I've heard. And I will report that in the morning. Fury says a lot of things, and also he often contradicts himself. Well, Daniel, I hope he contradicts himself on this. But as far as Joe Joyce goes, I'm looking forward for him to fight again. To the dung hill with this deadline crap. He's nothing. But if he fights Manuel Char, it was all a smoke screen to get people to pay attention to him, you know, and so he can promote this fight. So everything that Tyson says, if it pertains to another popular fighter, it all stays in the big loop. And the big loop consists of buzz. The buzz consists of people talking. Talking is promotion. So the more you talk about a person, you know, or more a fighter talks about another person, by association, you automatically get promoted. People talk constantly about AJ because AJ is the premier fighter. He's the highest paid heavyweight that we have today, and probably in effect in a long time, actually. You know, more than the Klitschko's and all that shit. So AJ is the man. So he's going to get hated on. You know, you should say AJ's name if you have any sense. Why? Because Deontay Wilder did it, and they offered him $100 million. So why wouldn't you say anything about Joshua? That would be the smart thing to do. Beyonce said the UK won't call Fury out on the char because they love that sniffer. Kind of says a lot about fans, to be honest. Well, I can see the appeal of people liking Tyson, but then I can see people not liking him at all. Fury blamed AJ for having too much ego and not signing the contract by now, but this one, working day deadline, isn't also an ego thing? Yeah, it's an ego thing. Because Tyson Fury wants to show that he runs things, or he wants you to believe that he's running things. And if you don't believe it, he's going to show you that he's running things. And that's how you show people. Breaking Forth Media. Good evening. Good evening to you, Breaking Forth Media. Take this bike up. Klitschko gave David Haye 50-50 when he didn't deserve it, but only a rematch clause for himself. Well, I mean, that's how you do it when you're the A side, buddy. You think Andy Ruiz had a rematch clause when they first fought? Nope. But AJ had one, didn't he? Your argument technique is low level, especially for a Camp Fury fan. He can run things straight over to Char. Yeah, and Char will take whatever he gives him. You know, I mean, that's how you easily make a fight. You pretend you want one fight, and then that fight doesn't happen. A much bigger fight, high caliber fight. All Fury wants is his attention. Well, I mean, that's what you do. You talk up a high caliber fight, it doesn't go down, and then all of a sudden, a fighter that wants to fight, you show that fighter that you didn't make that fight with how easy it is for him to agree. That's what Wilder did with Fury. And it still took 7 weeks for that fight to get made or that fight to get announced. It took 7 weeks, 6 or 7. And I'm talking about the first fight. Last time I saw Char, he was getting his head crushed by Vitali. Look, a lot of people got the head crushed by Vitali. He should fight Char in Germany, just like Fury over there, even though they don't speak English in press conferences. I mean, well, at this point, does Tyson even have a license to fight over here now? Henry Gomez, good afternoon to you. Daniel, I was talking to St. Dunn. Vitali is different type of monster. He is. He's a lot different than Vladimir, bro. And see, that's somebody he didn't fight. Don't worry. But for fair credit, you know, Vitali's older. He was the big brother. So he fought in Lennox Lewis's era and gave Lennox Lewis hell before that fight got stopped. And listen to this, people. Nobody can see Vitali. Nobody can see Vitali. Okay? Daniel, I was talking. Okay. If Vlad fought Vitali, I think Vitali beats his younger brother easily. Yeah, he beat him up. He's just too aggressive, you know. And I don't think the counter-punching ability for somebody that's for Vladimir, I don't think he would win. I think his brother would beat him up. He'd be more aggressive, like he always is. He comes in sparring that jab. You know, he's ready to pivot and take that right to you. You know. Kurt, do you think Vitali would have beaten Fury? It's hard to say because Vitali was an older fighter, so he would have had to fight him earlier. So let's say Fury would have challenged Vitali in 2013. Vitali would have beat him because Vitali wouldn't have tried to box Tyson Fury. He would have just fought Tyson Fury. You fight boxers. That's how you beat boxers. You fight them. You don't box them. You don't play their game. And see, even trying to counterpunch or counter a boxer, you're putting yourself in harm's way. You fight a boxer. Deshaun coming in with that $5. Salute Kurt, Counterpunch Boxing News and Boxing Fans. Appreciate you, brother. Salute to you. Vlad had a better camp than Vitali and was more athletic. Vitali was just tougher and meaner, except with Chris Bird. Yeah, but I think the instinct is all you needed. You know, I think the instinct is what differentiated him from Vladimir. Vladimir might have been more athletic, but what good is athleticism if you don't use it? It doesn't matter. After seeing Usyk beat Joshua made me think Ali is still the greatest because he's the same size as Usyk. Yep. You don't need to be... Listen, our perception of big fighters, we think just because you're big, that means you're going to be dominant when you fight someone that isn't. That's not the truth. All people talking about Fury's too big for Usyk, when they fight and he whoops that ass, You guys remember this channel and you all drop that cash. Bars. What the fuck is going on with Big Charlo? Will he ever get a legacy defining fight? Matthew Branch. Nope. There, I said it. He won't. He won't get one. I see Fury's crying wolf again. What a clown. Yeah, I mean, people will get tired of that. And then the sad thing will be when people get tired of Fury lying and then trying to take it back, fighting somebody that we don't want to see, that's what you're going to get. If Usyk beats Fury, you deserve all the bars in the world, Kurt. Daniel, that's it. I think Usyk can do it. I think Usyk will beat Tyson Fury. I've said that, and that's how it's going to stand. Now, does Tyson have a chance? Of course he does. Of course he does. He has a chance to beat anybody. But fighting someone with that type of style, he's never been in there with. Just like I think Terrence Crawford, if he fights Errol Spence this year, he's going to smoke Errol. That's why Errol's sitting back. I don't want to sign a contract because I don't want to sign that shit. He doesn't want to sign it because he doesn't want to get beat. If Al Heyman doesn't want Errol Spence to sign it, that means he doesn't want to lose his investment. Because Canelo's young. Errol Spence is even older than Canelo. Okay? He's older than Canelo. So that means that if Errol Spence don't fight Terrence Crawford, that means there's an opportunity for Errol Spence to meet Canelo Alvarez somewhere. But even Canelo Alvarez thinks Terrence Crawford beats Errol Spence. So how you like me now? Let people keep thinking that other big, slow-ass heavyweights can replicate what Usyk did against Joshua. Yeah. And the same guy we're praising, Usyk already beat him. We've seen that. We could watch that fight right now. And we've seen how Usyk is able to handle a big guy that never stops swinging. And he did it pretty damn easily. It wasn't a hard fight for him. Does Canelo need to retire, Kurt? His fights are looking more on the same predictable, same combos and moves he's done. Yep. I mean, he's looking predictable. But none of these guys, dude, they're in their 30s. You know, like Terrence Crawford, dude, at least he scathed across 3 weight classes. You know, a lot of these guys haven't even done anything close to anybody legendary. These guys can't compare to Floyd Mayweather or Manny Pacquiao. These guys can't do that. They're not doing any of that shit. I don't even think they want to. That's the saddest thing. They're like big pussies with boxing gloves on. They don't want to fight unless it's for a certain amount of money to put their health on the line. Your profession, you put your health on the line. That's why you can respect somebody like Wilder. At least they're going to fight you. Yeah, they might have egos like everybody else, but at the end of the day, they're going to try to knock you out or get knocked out trying to knock you out. Canelo getting off private jets in silk pajamas. That's true. You know, slamming all the time. You think Canelo ain't slamming chicks? That's all he done. That's all he's doing. Load of pain coming in with that 5 pounds. Usyk struggles with unorthodox, weird fighters and did so with Chisora before he gassed. Wilder's eventually going to throw windmills and a million right hands. Kurt, don't you think Spence could win on points just because of his sheer volume of punches, assuming Crawford doesn't knock him out in thoughts? No, because, see, the problem with this is why I think Terrence Crawford beats Errol Spence. Errol Spence throws a lot of punches. He's very aggressive. And this is what's going to happen. Errol Spence knows that Terrence Crawford is a switch hitter, and he knows that he's a counterpuncher. So for him throwing punches by that abundance, he's given himself the opportunity to get knocked out. And if Errol Spence is smart, he will try to box Terrence Crawford. And that will be a problem because then Terrence Crawford will just easily outbox Errol Spence. Whatever game Errol Spence tries, he's going to get beat doing it.
The only good thing that we can really rely on, or Errol Spence or people that support Spence can rely on, is if Spence hurts Terrence at any point of that fight and can disrupt his whole system just by simply hurting him. But if he can't do that, if he keeps getting caught with those right hooks from whatever stance, because he's going to have to worry about both of them. Because at some point, Terrence Crawford is going to try him out at a certain stance, and then he's going to switch. And when he switches, there's when he's going to figure him out, and he's going to figure the best solution out. Okay. And then here's another thing about Errol Spence. When your Dennis Ugas, that is not known to be a power puncher, hurt Errol Spence, knocked that mouthpiece out that boy's mouth, that boy went flailing into them ropes like he did, I already knew Terrence Crawford is going to destroy this kid because Errol Spence can be hurt. Now, I don't know if it had anything to do with the wreck. I don't know. I'm not even going to bring that up simply because I don't want to give excuses for the people that already lick his nutsack. Okay? That's real. OG Tariq from Philly. Salute Kirk, caught you live. EJ Camp is reluctant to fight Bud Crawford. They are, Tariq. They don't want that. Joe Joyce would beat Usyk. Skrilla 50 in the building. King Kurt, what's good, champ? Man, everything's good. I feel great. Mr. Big Jingles, your Bance level has been explained. what's Bance? I don't know what that is. I know that's like a UK slang or term. Sorry, Kurt, I can't respect Wilder. When 60-40 and undisputed between two fighters with Nigerian roots was on the table, only to say they begging me now for a fight. Nah. Antonio, I don't blame you. I think Wilder's team was afraid to lose because the rival promotional company, somebody like Eddie Hearn, that already had his backing, that already had the highest paying heavyweight. What do you really want to get beat by the highest paying heavyweight? So if the way Joshua was then too, if he would have fought and hurt Wilder, he would have beat Wilder. But if Wilder would have hit and knocked out Joshua, it would have been a 50-50 fight. But 50-50 fight doesn't mean 50-50 split. It just doesn't. That was all ego. And that was all, once again, Shelly Finkel in his way of protecting his fighter. He didn't want him in there with Vladimir. You think he wanted him in there with the guy that beat Vladimir? Come on, man. Let's think about that for a minute. Let's just use our brains. Counterpunch. In my opinion, Usyk is number one pound for pound boxer in the world right now, but he would not beat Fury. Well, let's see. Let's see what Fury can do with him and vice versa. See, I like talking about that type of stuff. I just don't like the fight not being made and people constantly, oh man, Fury will beat him. Okay, cool. I mean, that doesn't anger me. But what gets me is this, like, do you guys want to see it happen, or you guys are just talking for the sake of being talking? Because a lot of people do that. A lot of people talk about a fighter and they're really cheerleaders, but they really deep down inside don't want to see their fighters that they're cheerleading for fight, because there's a possibility that they know in their hearts that they could lose. And they don't want to look like the dickhead parade and they're cheerleading for somebody that gets knocked spark out. Uga should have taken advantage of Spence when he was stunned. Deshaun, he didn't. That's why I always question that fight. Hey, Kurt, why the F does Wilder keep bringing up cheating? Like, dude got beat 3 times and Wilder mentally does. Fury has his soul. Matthew, he's deeply affected. Michael Char would end all these bums. St. Don gonna cry to his mom. Difference between AJ and Fury, Sky Sports. Fury became a champion with Mick Hennessy, one of the lowest promoters in the UK that didn't have TV platform. Well, I mean, that's his fault. It's unfortunate for him. That's a business decision. There's levels between Fury and Joshua. There always has been. Now, there always will be. That depends on their careers. But I mean, this is the sport that I love, that I hate so much. Because the sad thing about it, Tyson Fury will never make Anthony Joshua money. He just won't. You know, he just won't. Neither will Wilder, unless they fight him, unless they bring that fight to the forefront. Who's to say Fury will ever fight a live opponent again? We don't know. We have no idea. Chocolatito versus Estrada. Man, I'm going to go with Chocolatito. Even though he's faded over the years, I'm still going to go with Chocolatito. And he was number one pound for pound for the longest. Mr. Box, if that happens, that'll happen. And he'll fight Char again and make that his legacy. I fought Manuel Char like a lot of people didn't want to fight. Trevor Bryant didn't want to fight. Anthony A.J. Shithouse Joshua didn't want to fight him. And I fought him. How many greats of the past are undefeated? When you fight, everybody loses are probable. That's why I didn't think Joshua should take this fight. But if Joshua was down for it, I would support the win or lose. That's how you're supposed to.
Recording.
Hey, Kurt, do you think Malik Scott can really change Wilder's bad habits? Not trying to hate, but will Wilder implement anything Scott teaches him? We'll see. Because to be honest with you, I was disappointed in what Wilder did in the fight. We seen all these combinations and the feint and the 1-2, and then all this body work, and we really didn't see any of that. We didn't see any of the inside fighting. We didn't see any of that. We seen traces of it. I remember when Wilder caught Fury with a left hook, and I was like, okay, he's actually been working on the damn thing. And when those guys were battling, it was a good fight though. The real Dutch Van der Linde. This is Michael Char's heavyweight division. The rest of the fighters are lucky he's allowing them to live another day. Dang. AJ wanted it. Eddie didn't from the off body language. Okay. Well, I mean, they're both saying they're skeptical, but who knows? Sanchez would do great. He is diet Usyk. Damn it, Joshua, you should have paid this dude top dollar for sparring Usyk. I'm surprised Manuel Char came back to boxing after being shot in Germany. Wow, I didn't know he was shot. I'm glad he's all right. Manuel Char. As soon as Wilder gets in a tough situation or goes any longer than 6 rounds, he will go back to the wildness. I don't think he will change. He might not. He might not change at all, but we'll see. A lot of fighters don't change when they're accustomed to doing certain things, and they normally get or normally become successful doing it. Joe Joyce, Britain, Martin Bacoli, whatever that is, and Frank Sanchez, Cuban, would be fireworks. I would watch it. Malik Scott is just an overhyped yes man and isn't even quarter of the trainer Mark Breland is. Ooh, counterpunch to you. If Fury turns down the Joshua fight because of a silly deadline, he will be sorry for the rest of his life. No, he won't. I don't think any of them will. They just never fought the best. If he doesn't fight Joshua Usyk, he'll be known to beating Vladimir Klitschko years ago and Deontay Wilder and then Dillian White. But then Dillian White, got knocked out by Povetkin. So how accomplished is that? But anyway, guys, it's been fun. I'm going to conclude this live stream. God bless you all. I hope all you a good night. See you in the morning. See you in the morning with good contact, more fresh news coming at you. And everyone has been Counterpunch. Peace.